Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Zijwin isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay. Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the... Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, while she left to retrieve the medication. Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or... the nurse intentionally left it this way.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Zijwin would... She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melazine? Or does she have a need to understand her...
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy...
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regard.
This is...
Is that all? The back. This...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different... I'd like to know that too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him go as...
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenging me and We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the... If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get...
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in. Someone! Please help!
Whoa! Are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found... What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no... Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Freeze!
He's already out of sight! How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office!
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some tea.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my sibling?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled... Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with...
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into—
Wait, you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a—
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with—
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't—
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse—
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want it. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secret.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lenny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about— I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the... Fonta's internal reports... We often see Miss Sijuin observing... Fonta's internal reports suggest... I've been told that the infirmary... According to Collins, the pancreation... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta's internal reports... We often see Miss Sijuin... The research note said that the
So that's what's going on. Paimon understands the hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to... She often visits the production zone to observe the work out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine... Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetic... The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. Alright, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an... According to Collins, the Pancration... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very... I've been told that the infirmary is all... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because... We often see Miss Sijuin observe... I've been told that the infirmary... The research note said that the Melusine... According to Collins, the Fonta promoter has been...
Paimon gets this this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the pancreation ring is about how, people get scared when they see it but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet to be named and packaged a blood red drink. It's no wonder the company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fort. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collect. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine, you'll pay for
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne. That was a
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Sigewinne?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Sigewinne.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. But
if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lenny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them...
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
Fremine... Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lenny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Lenny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
What's...
He's awake! Fremine, how do you feel?
Lynette...
We're all here.
Where... am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler... Paimon... It's been so long... the sea! There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes... Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like... Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? Get in gear! It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water starts. Master Child probably... The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
Understood. Then...
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
Excuse me!
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewinne?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Rise?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were
They came here with ulterior motives. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is... The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former...
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they... That's not something you should be asking after. No, all I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that...
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know!
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the fortress... Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well... What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky, and the readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any very reasonable guesses? I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard... The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but later on a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude—
The concentration of primordial—
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. The indicators are now red. Although the gates— If this continues, soon it will no longer— Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into—
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about it— When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon— And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of— The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves— But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this—
But now you know every part of that history.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate failed— To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time— Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurian?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a secret—
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the— Good. Saves me a bit of time. Edwin's main areas of research were
You want to blow up the—
what a lovely idea.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd have...
Jeez, forget I said. Follow me.
Whoa! There's another door that goes right up!
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool!
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... shit. This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about Fontania? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, according to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a gold. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and tech. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie...
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any could. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless... Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect the...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you... While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing it.
Must have been Risley and C.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sigewin is also busy with something or other, so...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is
Ooh, he's good.
That's Arlini.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, what's more, The Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervula. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while, if I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the—
You're super smart!
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind— I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could—
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically—
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think—
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
what's the hurry? I'm not done.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too! Don't forget—
No problem. Just leave it to me.
so delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just...
Sigewinne, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act...
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well...
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that... Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure... Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervulette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and... Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked...
Steady as stone.
What's the hurry?
this happened? I'm super sleepy. Delicious. I'm on 1 seconds for free.
Out of my way! Get out of my way!
What happened? Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's yelling?
What's the hurry?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us!
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out one—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly mine?
Hey, shut—
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where you go?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without him!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Huh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone. Will do. You have my sincerest...